Welcome to the creation of a papier-mâché Adventure Time Demon Bloodsword. Don't let that name scare you folks, it's from a cartoon. So we started out real simple. We took a large piece of cardboard, we drew out the shape of the sword, and we cut it out. Nothing crazy. After that, we repeated the same process, then hot glued both of those together to make it sturdy. And next up, we took chopsticks and pencils and hot glued those all the way up the body of the sword to make it all as sturdy as we possibly can make it. Once we finished up there, it was time to make the hilt a little bit stronger, so we made 2 extra pieces of the hilt cut out the same way and layered those on the top and bottom of the sword. Not only did it make the overall build of the sword more sturdy, but it also gives you a better appearance for the sword. You can kind of see that in the video here. It added a thickness that we really wanted to have. Oh, just look at that shredded paper goodness. Now the actual mix that we make for the paper mache just consists of flour, white glue, and water. I don't really have specifics of how I mix it. I would just say put it all together and go for a pancake batter thickness, if you know what I mean. Now you can do this without the use of white glue, but I find that it makes it a lot more sturdy and it just dries better overall. I think it works out the best. So getting started, doing the actual handle wasn't too difficult. This is probably the hardest part of the process. If you're gonna make this sword, make sure you have tiny strips of paper that you can see that I'm using right now, so you can weave in and out of the holes and get it all fully covered with the paper mache. Feel free to try another method if you have it, and if something works better for you, drop it in the comments. I would love to have that for my next build. One quick tip when you're doing the blade of the sword, try to use as wide of pieces as possible. If you notice, I'm using larger pieces because it's going to make it all look like we didn't use paper mache and give us that nice smooth blade appearance that we all want. After paper macheing, I did do 2 layers of Mod Podge to seal it and prep it for the paint process, and I used basic acrylic paint to actually do it. If you'd like to see future builds that we do, please subscribe to the channel and you'll see much more in the future. Next up is going to be Marceline's bass guitar. I think that one will be super cool. And then we'll move on to some anime, do different swords, all kinds of stuff. And if you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments. We'd love to give it a shot. Step I chose to do just in case you could see the white through the leather that we wrap around the handle. It ended up not being an issue, so you can definitely feel free to skip this part. At the very end of the painting process, before wrapping the handle, I do want to say I sealed it all with Mod Podge again, and I did 2 layers of it. The Mod Podge just helps to seal the entire sword, make it last longer, and it gives it a nice glossy appearance. A big part of the overall appearance was doing the handle with leather to make it as realistic as possible. We used hot glue and just basic leather strips. We wanted to use faux leather, but they didn't have any in stock. You can definitely use that instead though. Hope you enjoyed this build. Subscribe to catch more. They will be coming soon. I'm about to go to the land of Oon.